Jan, many people call themselves coaches, some credentialed with a recognized coaching school and others untrained. What are your thoughts on the benefits of suitable credentialing and assisting clients on their steps to a better future?
That's such a good question, because really the first thing I think that needs to be said and acknowledged is every human being is a coach to a degree. You know, we have friends and parents and colleagues that all ask us some wonderful coaching questions sometimes. The big difference, though, is that friends and families and colleagues do have a built-in perspective of you as the person, and so therefore they have an interest in what you do. And a coach is different because they are not related to you in any way, and their objective is to discover what it is that you want and then to help you get it. And I've actually done quite a bit of training over the years, and I've often wondered if it was really worth my while to have really made an investment in all of this coach-specific training that I've done. And I have to say that I do now believe that it has been, because it adds value. It adds value to both the coach and to the client. When you've got a knowledge of what coaching specifically is, you have the ability and the talent to get people thinking differently. It's around not just little things like the use of tone and the importance of it, or if you're actually seeing them, the understanding of body language. It's about listening for what is not being said. It's and a coach going through a recognised coaching school is also benchmarked against core competencies. So, and they gain experience about asking questions and the power of silence in very much a safe environment. So where practicing is measured against professional bodies' core competencies. So we are all coaches, but there is a difference between being a coach and actually being coach specifically trained and even credentialed. So any coach out there, I do encourage to continually be ongoing with their training.
Well, a non-coach will see you one way. They may know you as a family member. They may want to give advice. But a coach knows how to ask the questions that will get you to think for yourself what it is that you want. And I think that's one of the main differences.
Yeah. I was going to go back just to say,
Sure.
Back to what we originally said, with the coach has the questions and the client has the answers. And not everybody actually understands that.
Right. They think that the coach is going to sort of tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And give them the steps to do it in.
Exactly.
And, just like leaving a college university with a degree, for example, my PhD, nobody was standing out there offering me how to do what I now wanted to do. I had to get a coach, and I had to find out what really was in my heart and what really I needed to do, and that's what I've been doing. So I think that's a very important point.
Yeah, I think the emphasis on coaching is very much around action, accountability, responsibility, and the follow-through, Dr. Joyce.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. Are you able to give an example of this from your own experience?
Yes, with perhaps the variety of whether somebody, well, I have my own coach, and every time I get off the phone, because it is phone coaching, she's based in America, I just am so self-empowered. I really am. I clearly know what it is that I'm going to do. I've got a clear understanding of the time frames I'm going to be achieving them, and I'm accountable to myself through somebody else. And recently I did have an example of, or an occasion to be interviewed by somebody that was referring to themselves as a business coach. And I found it really quite interesting, because they really did ask good questions, but it didn't really take all that long before I heard this particular person telling me what it was that I had to do and how I had to do it. So it was reverting back more to a consulting role rather than a coach, because coaching as a word is a very in word at the moment. Everybody wants to call themselves a coach or be a coach, and there really are very definite differences between coaching and consulting. And I found that the questions were not drawing me to actually reach my own conclusions. Coaching is not about telling. And because of that, I found myself just switching off. So it's also based very much around the importance of tone. And I just didn't feel extended or challenged or even inclined to want to do the things that I was being told to do. So it is good for listeners to have an awareness that while coaching is the in word and the great word and everybody wants to call themselves a coach, there is a definite difference between a trained coach and somebody that calls themselves a coach.
There really is, and the old joke, I don't know if you've heard this joke, and it does not apply to you, certainly not, from your background and experience, but a coach is someone that's out of work. Every time,
right.
it's funny, but it's not funny. But the thing is
Right.
that, the coach, somebody that doesn't work anymore, but let's say they were in industrial engineering, they become a coach for industrial engineering because they've done it. So they can tell you how to do it. And we're always used to having us be told what to do as children. We start out that way, right? And
Right.
so it's really, we have to learn how to not tell people what to do as coaches, but let them tell us what they're going to do.
You see, that's lovely. It's so interesting to hear that because that's the definition of what you've just described. For me, is consulting. It's very much the consultant is the person who's already done it. And in New Zealand, if ever many years ago anyway, the whole sort of thing around consulting was someone had even lost their job or been let go, and now they were consulting back,
right.
sometimes to the same company for a higher fee.
True. I know people like that. Well, sometimes I have to switch gears because I'm a consultant and a coach.
Right.
And it's very difficult because while on the one hand I tell people what they need to do, on the other hand, because that's what I was hired for, to tell them what they need to do, on the other hand, you have the coaching clients that you don't want to tell what to do. So sometimes it's very hard to switch gears, and sometimes many people are both consultants and coaches,
Yes.
especially if they go up in the world in their own industry. So tell our listeners how to get in touch with you.
I would love to. I'm based in New Zealand, and I do actually coach internationally. I have www.directsuccess.co.nz or www.directsuccesscoaching.com. And my telephone number is on my website, but it's New Zealand, which is the country code is 64-7-846-5486. And my email address is also jan@directsuccess.co.nz.